Hey everyone, there's someone who's been carrying a specific idea about who you are, and that idea is about to shatter. The truth they've been avoiding, the truth about you they couldn't see before, is rising to the surface right now. And when it hits them, everything changes. Welcome back. I'm Anna. If this reading found you, it's because someone has changed their view of you, and the whole truth is about to be revealed. Not the version they told themselves, not the story they needed to believe to feel safe, the actual truth. I feel like you've sensed this shift already. Maybe you can't explain it, but something in the air feels different when you think about this person. Like there's movement happening behind the scenes, something you're not fully seeing yet, but you can feel. Let's talk about what's unfolding. So here's what I'm picking up on. This person, whoever they are in your life, they've been holding on to a particular perception of you for a while now. And that perception, it wasn't really about you at all. It was about what they needed you to be so they could justify their choices, so they could keep things comfortable, so they didn't have to face what was actually happening between you. Maybe they saw you as someone who would always wait, someone who wouldn't challenge them, someone predictable, safe, or maybe they convinced themselves you were difficult, too emotional, too much. They needed that narrative to protect themselves from seeing their own role in what happened. Either way, the image they built of you in their mind, it's crumbling now. And I want you to think about something for a second. Have you noticed that you stopped trying to prove yourself to this person? Like at some point, maybe without even deciding to, you just let go of needing them to understand you. Maybe you were sitting at your desk one day, going through your routine, and you realized you hadn't thought about them in the same heavy way. Or maybe you were walking home, and instead of replaying conversations in your head, you were just present, breathing easier. That shift in you, it's real, really real. And they're starting to feel the absence of your energy. Let me slow down for a second. I keep seeing this image of someone staring at their phone. Maybe they're rereading old messages between you. Maybe they're hovering over your contact, wanting to reach out but hesitating. There's this tension building in them because suddenly you're not behaving the way they expected. You're not chasing anymore. You're not explaining yourself. You're not making it easy for them to slot you back into the role they assigned you. And that silence from you, it's louder than anything you could have said. I feel like for some of you watching, this person might have already tested the waters recently. A casual text, a comment that seemed random, something designed to see if you'd respond the way you used to, with warmth, with eagerness, with that familiar energy. But you didn't. Or if you did respond, it was different. Polite, maybe, brief, neutral, and that response, or lack of it, it's doing something to them. Because now they're starting to wonder. They're starting to question the story they told themselves about who you are. Hold on. I'm not sure why, but this feels important. There's something about the way this truth is going to reveal itself. It's not going to be dramatic. It's not going to be some big confrontation or confession. It's going to be quieter than that. It's going to be in the small moment when they see you living your life without them and you look fine. Better than fine, actually. When someone else mentions your name and they realize they don't know what's happening in your world anymore, when they notice that you're not checking in, not asking for updates, not keeping that door open the way you used to. Those moments are adding up, and the realization is building in them. You were never the problem. All those things they told themselves about you, all those justifications for how they treated you, they're falling apart under the weight of reality. Because the truth is, you showed up. You were consistent is less than #0. 5# is greater than you were genuine. And they didn't know what to do with that. So they minimized it. They made it smaller in their mind so they wouldn't have to feel the guilt of not meeting you there. But now that you're gone, now that your presence isn't filling that space anymore, they're feeling the emptiness. And it's heavy. Let's pause for a moment and really sit with what they're discovering about you. They're realizing you're stronger than they gave you credit for. You're not someone who crumbles without their validation. You're not someone who needs them to feel complete. They're seeing that you actually had boundaries all along. You just gave them the benefit of the doubt for longer than they deserved. And now that those boundaries are firm, now that you're not bending anymore, they're understanding what they lost. I feel like some of you might have experienced a moment recently where you felt this quiet tension, not anxiety, exactly, but the sense that something's shifting energetically, like you know this person is thinking about you, even though you haven't heard from them directly. Maybe you've had dreams about them, or you keep seeing reminders of them in random places. That's not coincidence. That's the energetic pull of their realization reaching toward you. They're processing something big. And on some level, you're picking up on it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This person is also starting to see how much they misunderstood your intentions. Maybe they thought you wanted something from them that you didn't actually want. Maybe they assumed you were playing games when you were being completely honest. Maybe they built this whole narrative about your behavior to protect their ego. And now that narrative doesn't hold up anymore because you're not acting like someone who's hurt. You're not acting like someone who's waiting for them to come back. You're just living, moving forward, building something new, and that's confusing for them because it doesn't match the story. I keep getting this sense that for many of you, this person is going to have a specific moment of clarity soon. Something's going to trigger it. Maybe they'll see you looking genuinely happy. Maybe someone will speak highly of you and they'll realize how differently other people see you. Maybe they'll have a conversation with someone new and realize that person isn't you. And that difference will hit them hard. Whatever it is, it's coming. And when it does, the whole truth about who you are and what you meant to them is going to land. Now, I want to talk about what this means for you, because this isn't really about them finally seeing your worth. This is about you already knowing it. You didn't need their validation to move forward. You didn't wait for them to wake up before you started healing. You chose yourself quietly, without needing applause or acknowledgement. And that's the real transformation here. The truth being revealed to them, it's just a reflection of the truth you've already accepted about yourself. You know who you are now. You know what you're capable of. You don't need to shrink or explain or perform to be valued. Let's sit with this for a moment. Think about where you were a few months ago compared to where you are now. Can you feel the difference? Not just in how you think, but in how you move through your days. There's less heaviness, less second guessing, less energy spent on someone who wasn't meeting you halfway. You're lighter now. And that lightness, it's not because you stopped caring. It's because you stopped carrying what wasn't yours to carry. So when this person's new view of you fully forms, when the whole truth lands for them, you might feel it. You might sense their energy shifting toward you. You might even hear from them directly. And if that happens, I want you to remember something. You don't owe them access to the new version of you just because they finally recognize your value. You don't have to open that door again just because they're knocking differently now. Their realization is theirs to hold. Your peace is yours to protect. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be cold or closed off. It just means you get to choose what feels right for you without guilt, without pressure, without needing to prove anything. If there's a conversation that needs to happen, it'll unfold naturally. If there's closure that needs to come, it will, but you don't have to force it or rush it or make it happen before you're ready. I feel like some of you watching might be wondering, does this mean reconciliation? Does this mean they're coming back? And honestly, I can't tell you exactly what form this takes in your specific situation. What I can tell you is that their perception of you is changing, and that shift is going to create some kind of movement. Whether that movement brings them closer or helps you both move on with more clarity, that's still unfolding. But here's what I know for sure. You're going to be okay either way. Because you've already proven to yourself that you can stand on your own. You've already shown yourself that your worth doesn't depend on someone else finally seeing it. Let me ask you something. When you think about this person now, do you feel that same desperate need for them to understand you? Or has that softened into something quieter, something more neutral? Drop a comment and let me know where you're at with this. Are you feeling this shift in their energy? Have you noticed yourself pulling back without even trying to? As we close this reading, I want you to take a deep breath with me. The truth being revealed about you to this person, it's not something you need to manage or control. It's simply happening is less than #0. 5# is greater than, because truth has a way of surfacing eventually. Your job isn't to wait for their acknowledgement. Your job is to keep honoring the path you're already on. Keep building the life that feels aligned with who you're becoming. Keep choosing yourself, even when it's quiet, even when no one's watching, because that's the energy that shifted everything in the first place. Your willingness to let go of what wasn't serving you, even when it was hard, even when part of you wanted to hold on. You did that, and you're doing it now. So trust where you are. Trust what's unfolding. Trust that the right connections will align with who you are, and the wrong ones will fall away. No matter how much history you share, the whole truth is being revealed. And the most important person who needed to see that truth was you. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.